stand behind this chief. You stand behind that. All right. For everyone else, you can come up and have a seat if you don't want to stand. And again, welcome to the Texas Department of Public Safety Region 2 headquarters, as well as the Texas Highway Patrol District 2A Labor Day holiday DWI press conference. But before we get started, I want to do some administrative information for you. In case of emergency, to my right, you're attending our press conference here at the DPS Region 2 headquarters. As you all know, this is Labor Day weekend, which marks the end of the official summer holiday, summer season. And with that, a lot of folks is going to be partaking in family reunions, going to the beach, parks, picnics, participating in sporting activities, weekend football, all that. And we relate that to drinking and driving, driving impaired. So today, we want to take time out, the Texas Department of Public Safety want to take time out and inform the public of what can happen to those who are stopped and arrested for driving while impaired, the consequences of that, and also give some safety tips, because our mission, as far as the Texas Department of Public Safety, Texas Highway Patrol, and all the uniformed officers behind us, behind me rather, is to make sure everyone reach their destination safe. So we have a line of speakers today to give that information to you all, and we ask that we allow each speaker to speak, and once they have spoken, then we'll ask questions. The speakers for the day is Texas Highway Patrol Region 2A Commander Captain Derek Rodriguez, Harris County DA's Office Chief Allison Bainbridge, Harris County Sheriff's Department Captain Darrell Coleman, Houston Police Department Captain Larry Bainbridge, Texas Department of Transportation PIO Public Information Officer Deidre Samuels, Houston Galveston Area Council Jeff Kaufman, and lastly, Mothers Against Drunk Driving Attorney William Womble, victim advocate. So without further ado, the Texas Highway Patrol District 2A Commander Captain Derek Rodriguez.
Good afternoon. Thank you, John. On behalf of the Regional Commander, Dwayne Steen, I'd like to extend to you a warm welcome to our regional headquarters here in Houston. Sergeant Sampa has already introduced to you or given you the lineup of the speakers that will be speaking today, and it's rather lengthy, so I'm going to try and keep my remarks as brief as possible. But what I want to do is give special recognition to all of the law enforcement officers that have shown up today. Everyone from our line level patrol officers up to chiefs of police from several cities, and every rank in between. What you see behind me is a wide array of officers from throughout the area, not just Houston, but we have them from as far away from Pasadena, I think Fort Bend County, Willis. I've seen quite a few, and I really appreciate all of you being here. I know Chief Alan Bragg is here. Captain Thad Olive from the Southside Police Department, Lanny Hitchcock, who we know very well from this area. Nancy Hennessy is here from the Precinct 1 Constable's office. And what I'd like to do is impress upon the members of the media to please stay after all of the speakers have spoken, and maybe try to take some time to meet with some of those folks and find out a little bit more about their programs. But what I think you're going to find is that we all have a unified front on addressing this problem of DWI in our area. I had one of my sergeants collect some stats for me, and I was going to start reading off a long laundry list of stats, but you know what? That gets kind of lengthy, boring, may steal thunder from some other folks. But the most important that I saw that I need to mention is that we haven't had a deathless day in the state of Texas on our highways for almost 13 years now. And I think that needs to sink in. If we make it to November 7 and still don't have a deathless day of having some type of fatality on the highways of Texas, we need to take a closer look at that. What I'd also like to do is extend my appreciation. I think TxDOT is here as well, TABC, and last but not least, probably most important, are our partners with the Mothers Against Drunk Driving program. This wide array of officers that you see behind me, we're out on the front trying to enforce the laws as best we can, but MAD deserves quite a bit of credit for their strides in changing the perception of the public from DWI being somewhat of a socially acceptable crime many years ago to where we are today, where even though it still persists, a great majority of the public still sees it as a significant problem. And last but not least, I want to acknowledge some of my my own staff. In the room we have Lieutenant Jeff Shipley, Lieutenant Joe Bridges, Sergeant Mark Phillips, and of course our MVPs. I have two of my star DWI hunters right behind me, Trooper Dana Raveman and Trooper Jeff Pirtle. And they're standing alongside their brothers and sisters in law enforcement. And someday we will all see a deathless day here on the state highways of Texas, and hopefully it'll be this weekend. And just like the 4th of July weekend, I hope we have a deathless day in our region. So, thank you. With that, I'd like to introduce to you the Montgomery County DA's office, the Harris County DA's office, Chief of Vehicular Crimes, Allison Bainbridge.
All right, thank you. Like the Captain Commander said, my name is Allison Bainbridge. I am now the Chief of our Vehicular Crime Section in Harris County. I just wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of things. The thing that sticks out to me when we talk about DWIs in Harris County, as a county in the state of Texas and in our nation, we still lead the nation in DWI-related fatalities. Still, today. That's been our title for years, and it's a sobering statistic. It's not a title that anyone is proud of or that anyone wants to keep. Our goal is to be able to stand before you guys next year and say, we are no longer the nation's leader in DWI-related fatalities. So that's our goal. No refusal weekends like the one we're about to start is one of the great tools that we have to try to combat that situation. So what happens on Labor Day and every weekend here in Harris County is that we run no refusal weekends. Labor Day weekend, we will run an extra day. So no refusal weekend will run 24/7 from Friday night, Saturday night through Sunday night. That means that there will be extra prosecutors on staff with nurses, judges available and on call to assist those officers in streamlining the process to make sure that blood gets drawn if someone refuses, and the best evidence in those cases is collected and used at trial. There will become a way in Harris County that we will always have the best evidence in these DWIs, and it's coming soon. These officers are working very hard to make sure that we have that evidence, and the DA's office is helping them do so. We have become a community that is a 24/7 no refusal area now. No matter what time of day or night, no matter what day of the week, if an officer calls and wants a search warrant on a suspect that has refused, they're going to get it, which means they will then have that evidence to further prosecute the suspect that has been accused of DWI. This no refusal weekend is added into those 24/7 policies so that on Labor Day weekend, on Thanksgiving, on any other holiday, when you have extra days, that means there are extra people on the road that aren't abiding by the laws, and they need to make sure to get that evidence from them as well. The thing that when I think about these DWI fatalities and I think about the safety of the officers out on the street and the other people that are just driving through our county and to home from work, back home from work every day, most of those people are first responders that are on the same road at the same time as those officers and those drunk drivers. So the thing that I would like to import on everybody out there is to make sure that you stay safe, you keep everyone in your community safe, and when you are thinking about what you're going to do for the weekend or the night, part of that plan about where you're going, where you're going to drink, who you're drinking with, should also be how you're going to get home. Because if you make that part of your plan every time you go, whether you are taking a cab, you have a designated driver, you are walking, that's going to save your life and it's going to save someone else's life. So besides your cliche, don't drink and drive that you hear from everybody that is oh so important, also make sure that you start to say that. Be safe and have a plan. Because if you do that, the decisions that you make throughout that night will not result in an arrest for DWI or intoxication manslaughter. It's going to result in everybody going home safely. So that's all I have for you guys. Do you want me to take questions or do you want me to wait? Okay. Next up.
I'm only moving this podium because I was instructed to by Sergeant Sampa. I'm almost offended. I think he believes I'm the only one that would be clumsy enough to trip over this cord. But John and I go way back. Again, as introduced earlier, my name is Darrell Coleman. I'm a captain with Harris County Sheriff's Office and the commander of the Traffic Enforcement Division. I'm speaking on behalf of Sheriff Adrian Garcia, and we would like to advise the people that Labor Day holiday of 2012, just a year ago, the Traffic Enforcement Division alone made 31 DWI arrests. 19 were related to accidents, motor vehicle crashes, resulting in 4 fatalities. Our efforts this year are to make a strong attempt to drastically reduce not only the 4 fatalities that we had last year, but also to reduce the number of crashes that involved intoxicated drivers. We will do our best to get impaired drivers off the road before they have the opportunity to injure one of our family or friends. Sheriff also wants everyone to understand that tragedies just don't occur on the roadways. They happening on the waterways as well. Driving while intoxicated or boating while intoxicated is a crime also. The Harris County Sheriff's Office Marine Unit will be out enforcing laws, the impairment or intoxication laws on the waterways of Harris County as well. So far this year, HCSO has responded to 2 drownings in open water and 4 drownings in swimming pools. Excuse me. Let's take personal responsibility and enjoy our Labor Day weekend. Play by the rules and be safe. If not, members of the Harris County Sheriff's Office will host you at our jail and feed you breakfast and take care of you until you find a way to get out. If you think this can't happen to you, we ask that you think again. It can happen to anyone. Ask someone that has been involved, or ask someone that has lost a family member to an intoxicated driver. Thank you. It was done for me, so I'll pay it forward. Next up is my counterpart, Captain Larry Bainbridge from Houston Police Department.
Thanks, Darrell. And to clarify, I saw some eyebrows raised when we were introduced, and Allison's not my wife, but she is my sister-in-law. And it does make for some rather interesting conversations around the dinner table. We've solved a lot of crimes there. Any arguments we have, I usually lose. So, but believe it or not, it has helped tremendously in our cooperation with law enforcement and the DA's office, because we do have to work cooperatively. You've heard a number of stats. I'm not going to give you any numbers right now, but know that, again, Harris County has led the nation for far too long. Hundreds of deaths a year typically happen in Harris County. And the thing to keep in mind about these stats is each one is a life. It's a life lost. It's a family that's torn apart. It's someone who's been permanently disfigured or maimed for the rest of their lives. These numbers matter. Every one of these is avoidable. Every single DWI fatality is an avoidable death. It represents a poor decision made by someone who decided to drink and then drive. HPD is committed to reducing the number of fatalities and DWI crashes through our enforcement efforts. Chief McClellan has made this one of his personal goals to reduce the number of crashes, the number of fatalities that occur within the city of Houston. And in doing so, we have increased our DWI task force over the past year, and we've increased our DWI arrests. Not only the numbers, but the quality of those arrests. And by that, I mean the training, the time that our unit spends in courtroom testimony and working with the DA's office and making sure that when we do make these arrests, that we have a successful prosecution. That's why we're here. That's why we're trying to spread this message. The last thing we want is for a mother, a father to receive that dreaded knock at the door in the middle of the night telling them that their child was killed in a fatality that could have been avoided had someone made the right decision. So that's our message, and we hope that if you're hearing this, that you take that to heart. Thank you. And next is Deidre with the Department of Public Safety? Or TxDOT, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Deidre Samuels, and as my colleagues have said before, you've all heard the statistics. So basically, what Gary, Olga, and myself are here for is to represent the Texas Department of Transportation and also our support of law enforcement behind me, as well as important organizations such as Mothers Against Drunk Driving and also HGAC. We have a long-standing relationship with law enforcement by providing no-refusal grants, DWI grants, and impaired driving mobilization grants to keep officers on the road and drunk drivers off. We also have a pilot program with Houston-Galveston Area Council, which Mr. Kaufman will talk about a little later, to fund a regional DWI grant, which provides overtime enforcement during selected holiday waves. TxDOT's message is simply one of education. We want to make sure that you are clear. If you drink and you drive, you will go to jail. TxDOT is the bark, but law enforcement is the bite. Thank you. Oh, let me please bring up HGAC's Jeff Kaufman.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeff Kaufman with the Houston-Galveston Area Council. As Deidre mentioned, we've been given a exceptional opportunity to participate in conducting DWI enforcement and hopefully curtail this plague that's affected our region. Since 2007, nearly 1,300 people have died within the Houston-Galveston area due to DWI. We have been blessed and given an opportunity, a grant from TxDOT, to allow us the opportunity to participate in the cause by granting us funding to allow smaller agencies that wouldn't traditionally qualify to conduct DWI enforcement an opportunity to help out in this cause. Our regional DWI task force has 15 agencies from 5 counties in the region participating. And working with these other agencies present, it allows us to cast an even wider net to catch those who decide to make the wrong decision and drink and drive over the weekend. In addition, through this grant, we have helped to fund no-refusal efforts similar to what Allison Bainbridge had discussed in Harris County and several of the other counties in the area. And like in Harris County, it would help ensure that if you are pulled over under suspicion of DWI and you refuse to provide a sample, a warrant will be issued and signed by a judge in a matter of minutes in order to take a blood sample. As of 4th of July weekend, and this initiative has been operating since about Christmas, there have been 175 DWI-related arrests over 4 holiday weekends. And while Labor Day is last weekend for this grant, TxDOT has given us an additional year of funding so that we can conduct this opportunity again in 2014. I do not believe anybody here has said not to celebrate this holiday. However, if you choose to drink and drive as part of the celebration, please be responsible. Get a designated driver, get a cab or service. It's really not worth risking time in jail, and most important is not risking somebody's life on the road. Thank you, and I guess at this point I'm supposed to introduce Will Womble from Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Good afternoon, my name is Will Womble, and I am an attorney and a citizen here in the community, and I stand before you speaking on behalf of Mothers Against Drunk Driving and the many volunteers and staff that have dedicated their career and life to helping others. I first want to say thanks to Sergeant Phillips and Sergeant Sampa for getting this together and organizing it through the Department of Public Safety. The men and women that are standing behind me represent dozens of law enforcement agencies in and around our community. And it will take not just one officer, not just one trooper, or one agency to cure this problem, it'll take the entire force we have in and around our community to help alleviate the numbers that we've heard today, which are astronomically high. Perfect. You hear a lot of statistics when talking about drunk driving. The one thing I've learned in volunteering and helping with Mothers Against Drunk Driving is that those who donate their precious time realize that there are faces behind those statistics. There's a face of a mother, a father, a son, or a daughter who's been the victim. And Mothers Against Drunk Driving will continue to devote its efforts and its energy to serving its first and foremost priority, and that is to be there for the victims, to be there for the faces, and to lend a hand and a shoulder to those that need it. And we thank you for being here.
All right, we're at the point where, would you like to ask any questions of any of the speakers? No questions? All right. Well, there you have it. Again, our message today is for everyone to have a safe holiday. All the unified officers standing behind me will be out representing their agency along with their brothers to ensure our roadways here in Texas are safe, so everyone can reach their destination safe. In Texas, we lose over 3,000 folks yearly on our Texas roadways for a number of reasons. But one of the main causes here in Harris County is impaired driving. So again, like you said before, if you think it can't happen to you, it can. It only takes that one time. And that's the response that a lot of folks says once it has happened to them. I didn't think it could happen to me, and then now it has happened. So again, we want everyone to reach their destination safe, end their summer safely, and we all can continue to be great citizens of the state of Texas. I want to thank all the law enforcement agencies and their representatives for coming out here today to stand with the Texas Highway Patrol to send a message out to those motorists that we're out there trying to protect you on your roadways, as well as those who come visit our great state of Texas. So again, everyone have a great weekend, and there'll be, if you want to ask any questions after this, I'm sure they'll be around to answer any questions. Thank you.
There you go.